Hi, this is Phil, and I'm here to tell you all about the Capes and Lunatics Patreon. Get early access to all of our interviews, including the monthly Chichester chats with writer and comic book legend DG Chichester, new episodes of classic Capes and Lunatics shows, including The Quantum Zone, This, That, or the Third, and many, many more specials, all completely uncensored. Access starts for $3 a month, full video when you pledge $5 a month. Check out the link in our show notes, or go to patreon.com/CapesandLunatics. Hope to see you there.
Hi, this is Dan Jurgens, and you are listening to the Capes and Lunatics podcast.
Look up in the sky, it's a bird, it's a plane, it's the Electric Mullet.
Dun, dun, dun.
I should have started music first. Alright, everyone, welcome back to another week of Electric Mullet. I am Phil, joining me, as always, your number one source of Superman knowledge. It is Mr. Comic Patrick.
Hey, Phil, how's it going?
Alright, how are you?
I'm good. Just sitting here looking at how we can't stream to X anymore.
Nope. Not unless you pay the billionaire money.
I've already got to look at enough ads as it is and stupid crap I don't want to look at.
Yep. Money came for StreamYard. I don't want to need to pay on the other side.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, yes, this time we're going to cover part one of our two-part invasion special. Part two will be next month. And then the second episode of next month, we'll start Justin will be back because we'll start our Exile three-parter. So,
yay, Justin.
Yay, Justin the Owls. We'll be back.
The Owl Man.
It's me, your old pal, the Owl.
Alrighty. So, yeah. So, again, this is...
I feel like every time we mention Justin the Owl, we need some sort of owl sound effect.
Yes, I need an owl sound effect. Yes.
Like, whoo! Like Jimmy Flamebird. It needs to be Justin the Owl. Whoo!
Oh, that'd be perfect to play an owl sound. Be like, whoo!
It's me, your old pal, the Owl.
Yes. Alright. So, yes. So, this time we'll talk... we'll kind of mention Invasion 1 and 2 because that's these two Superman issues we're talking tonight take place between them. But, yeah, it's not really required reading. There's not a ton of Superman. Well... There's some Superman in these. Well, especially not the first one, not a ton, but
I didn't get to read them. You said I didn't have to.
Yeah.
And I didn't get to read them because I had just been super busy. Like last week, I wasn't here because I was on call doing stuff for work. Kind of through my whole week. And just been overwhelmed.
I mean, I think they're worth a read if anyone ever gets a chance. But was it all these ones or just the first ones? Yeah. I think it was all of them. Tell me. When did they ever do this? 80 pages, no ads.
Wow.
That's why I'm saying it was long. 80 pages, no ads. From cover to cover, no ads.
That's crazy.
And the craziest part of all, it was only $2.95.
Yeah, that is unbelievable.
80 pages of story for $2.95.
That's the kind of stuff that we dream that we have now.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's the kind of stuff that we look at like, no, that's not possible. No. 80 pages, that's a whole crossover series.
I know. And I remember in 1988, I was a kid, I wasn't spending my own money, but I remember thinking, oh man, $2.95? I know. I'm like, you get 80 pages, but $2.95, that's a lot for a comic. If only I'd known.
Mm-hmm.
But no, it's basically, we get a team up of alien races coming for Earth. The Dominators, the Thanagarians, what are those guys? They Kund. But this
Dominators?
The Dominators are like the guys with the big teeth.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because they've discovered. Well, they discover this is when they first introduced the metagene, where they're like, oh, why do certain humans get metahuman powers and stuff? And
I always don't like the way the term metahuman gets thrown around, like kind of encompassing anybody.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't like, for the most part, I don't consider the Flash a metahuman, even though he kind of, like, sometimes they say it's because he got his powers through an accident.
Yeah.
Through science. Superman's an alien.
Yeah, I don't know if it's Superman so much the case, but guys like the Flash, I think they're just like, Well, that's why when if you're in an accident, that's why the Flash would get superpower, would get super speed and not die, is because he had the metagene. So
it's just, I'm like, okay, all right, fine.
So basically, a big majority of at this point of the DC universe, they were saying, they're basically mutants, but yeah, you have to like be in some kind of accident to unlock your powers. So, but yeah, no, I mean this first one, there was a lot of setup, and they were like spinning some books out of this, like a Mega Man, and there was a book called Blasters. But yeah, a lot of it was in space, and then when the invaders finally come to Earth, the heroes and the Justice League are basically setting up a defense. And of course, the last page is the Daily Planet headline.
Mm.
I was like, is that a call out to Superman 4?
Could be.
Earth invaders drop dead.
Superman 4, that great piece of art, that wonderful film that gets all the hate.
I know. I mean, but again, that's always like the time-honored debate. It's like, what was better, what was worse, Superman 3 or Superman 4? Superman 3 was the best movie ever! Thank you, Charlie.
Rest, Charlie.
Yes. Oh yeah, we're gonna have to cover that in his honor someday.
I'm covering it next year in his honor, and I will not talk negative towards it. I will point out things I think that could have been improved on, or maybe don't make sense, but we will talk about it, and I will honor it for him.
I mean, I could pick out 2 or 3 scenes that I think are I'm like, oh, I like that, but
I like half the movie. We'll just say that real easy.
I can see that.
We gotta do it together, Phil.
Yes, yeah. Well, that should be a big group thing. Oh yes, and then in part 1, and then all of issue 1, and then I think part of issue 2 is penciled by Todd McFarlane, a young up-and-comer named Todd McFarlane. That
name sounds familiar. Did he do anything? Did he do anything special?
I don't know.
McFarlane. Look at the back of my room. McFarlane. Did he make figures or anything?
Did he draw some Spider-Man and some Hulk? Did he come up with his own stuff? I don't know.
Sounds familiar.
Oh, and then it's quite intriguing in this miniseries too, because it's like Amanda Waller's actually helping the heroes of Earth defend Earth from this, instead of like being a bad guy. It's
always weird when Waller's like a good guy.
I mean, I won't say she's a good guy, but again, I think her classic mold was like, she was that character, the Shades of Grey, where it's just like, she's doing good, but her methods may not always be the most clean, but.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Lilith and I were talking about this. Absolute Power, which again, I still have high hopes for because it is Mark Waid. So, but we were saying, I think they're steering into the Amanda Waller is a villain skid, just to be in sync with the movies and stuff. Where she's pretty much a straight up villain, like Suicide Squad and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So corporate synergy.
Yeah, we see. It's either the comics are always. It's funny because the comics do stuff, and then other properties take from the comics and do things a little different, and then the comics try to catch up or change to what the TV's doing, and by the time they do that, the TV or whatever has moved on from that.
Yeah, that's what I said. I mean, I like the shows and all the shows and the movies and stuff, but it's almost like a double-edged sword, because sometimes I miss the days when we didn't get like a ton of shows and movies, because then the creators just did what they wanted. They just like, oh, what's a good story? I'll tell this story, instead of worrying what was going on in the movies and stuff. And oh yeah, it's so blatant, especially when like characters start looking like the actors.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
we're approaching part of our conversation as we were rereading things from the New 52, and about a year or two into that, they did what they called the DCU, which was the YOU, which where they did like that soft reboot inside.
Oh, yeah.
Where all of a sudden the Flash suit had the red behind it, like the TV show.
Mm-hmm.
Superman was back to wearing a T-shirt and cut off his hair. And the Aquaman started to look more like Jason Momoa, and it's like they did that, and then it didn't really catch on, and then they were like, Rebirth.
Yeah. They think they're going to get all these new readers who like the movies and stuff, but I'm just like, yeah.
It doesn't feel like it ever works.
I mean, I've literally talked to my guy. I interviewed a guy who in a comic shop, and he was like, no. He's like, all those Avengers movies, the Black Panther movie, it didn't, increase my sales at all in my comic shop.
Which is really sad that, I mean, I know they've tried to push, like, check out the stories that have inspired this or whatever, but it doesn't work the way we hope it does.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean, they need, like, bigger ads during those movies, too, because, like, what was it, a month or two ago, Luke and I went and saw this Transformers thing at the movies where they showed, like, the first 4 episodes of the original animated series, and they had a big ad, like, in the beginning where, like, oh, yeah, go check out the current comics over at Image. I was like, oh, nice.
It'd be nice if, like, they did something where they start out, like, they have, like, the directors and stuff of these movies come out, and if the directors would, like, okay, for example, you have, with Superman coming out, you'd have James Gunn, like, introduce the film, but next to him is Josh Williamson or something. It's like, saying something about the comics and checking it out and, like, plugging the DC world and, like, how they do sometimes, they'll throw up, like, the QR code, like, scan this QR code to sign up, even for the app, like. Yeah,
that's what I was going to say, yeah. Either get a subscription to the app, we'll do that, and even say, like, if it's based on a certain story, be like, well, here's the collection where you can get right now,
It's like, thank you for going to see Superman, scan this, you get a free 1-week trial of the DC app and check out All-Star Superman or whatever that's inspired today's movie, something like that.
Or here's a free digit, scan this code, we'll get a free digital copy of whatever Superman comic.
It's just something like where you're really trying to bring more interest. So,
all right. So like we said, the aliens are coming. These all these alien races are trying, I don't know, not enslave Earth, but almost just annihilate us. I don't know, but oh yes, and they when they get to Earth, their staging area that they take over first, that they are attacking from Australia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All I could think of retroactively is, oh, poor Nate. I was like, Nate McKenzie, Connor.
What the F?
Ray.
I was like, just going down the list. I was like, but yeah, that was, I was like, why Australia? Those poor people.
I mean, maybe because it's isolated for, like, more than, like, the rest of the
Is it a Superman 2 callback?
The one that they've landed in Planet Houston?
Where he says, Lex Luthor, what do you demand? He's like, Australia.
Lex Luthor, President of Australia. Activate the machine. All right. And then, meanwhile, while this is all going on, Superman is still having a few problems. So,
yes.
So, should we get to the actual Superman issues?
Let's do it.
All right, because one comes, and then you get the 2 Superman issues, and then we could talk a little bit about the second invasion, but space. A lot of it is just Captain Atom puts together, basically gathers the superheroes of Earth, and Superman basically leads the attack on the alien fleet.
Captain Atom does all the work. Superman gets all the credit.
Yeah, but again, like I said, Superman's having trouble at the moment. So, but yeah, I don't know, Tyler. What's your thoughts on Todd McFarlane's Superman?
It's not bad. Hold on, I'm trying to get the pull up here.
Yeah, it's just a little. His Superman. That's from issue 2. Yeah, it's not bad, but it's a little different.
I think sometimes at this time, I think it's not loading. All right, hold on. But yeah, it's not bad. I don't think Todd McFarlane's ever drawn anything bad. Yeah, it's being stupid. But
oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm using the iPad today because it's not dead. Thanks, kids.
Yeah, I just pulled my floppies because, like I said, no Adventures of Superman, and we're still in that gap until we get past 450. Yeah, once we get to 451 during Exile, we'll be back in
Is that what we're doing first? Is Adventures? Okay.
Superman 26, which is on the app. So
yeah, I was like, man. All right, let's do this.
All right, yep, there we go. All right, Adventures of Superman, Volume 2, number 26, December 1988. It's just a shot away. Writer Roger Stern, penciler Kerry Gamble, inker Brett Breeding, colors Petra Scodish, letterer John Costanza, and editor Mike Carlin and Renee Witterstatter. Alright. Superman and the MSCU investigate the mysterious crimes of Baron Sunday, a crime lord who has been murdering people through apparently supernatural means. For meddling in his affairs, the Baron swears that he will kill Superman as well. Yeah, because I always want to say. And then, yes, meanwhile, the invasion takes Metropolis by storm. Sarge Steele of the Central Bureau of Investigation arrives at the Daily Planet and attempts to contact Superman. The federal government wants Superman to avoid confrontation with the Alien Alliance at all costs. To avoid a diplomatic incident, Clark tirades out and criticizes Steele for his bureaucracy. Thanagarians attack the city with the intention of burning it to the ground, and Superman has no choice but to defy the presidential mandate and take action into his own hands once again. Superman piles on the retaliatory punishment and sends droves of their warriors back, unable to contend with his mighty abilities. However, the moment the Hawkmen retreat, Baron Sunday uses a voodoo doll taken from a shred of Superman's cape and sends him plummeting to the ground in pain, down into the sewers, unconscious from pain and halfway dead. The public is largely given reason to believe that he's dead. Much later, Captain Atom, in charge of Earth's superhero forces during the crisis, stops by to investigate the incident. While attempting to track down the Man of Steel, he runs into the Guardian and enlists him for the duration of the conflict. Gangbuster also looks for leads on the case and tracks Sunday down to his apartment. The Baron is quick on the draw and surrounds the vigilante with a powerful magic sphere, capable of holding 6 men. But Gangbuster busts out of it with nothing but his own force of will, kicks his butt and drops him off at the police station before continuing his patrol. All in a night's work. So,
intense.
Right. Yes. All right, Tyler. So thoughts on 26?
Well, I liked that it had Baron Sunday.
Yes. Yes.
Baron Sunday has been in live action Superman by the great Cress Williams that I got to interview.
Oh, yeah.
I had forgotten when the comic with him showed up, so the fact that this one was just kind of like, oh, cool.
Yeah.
But I wonder why I'm yawning. Oh, I know why, because I'm exhausted. But,
you and Superman.
Yeah. I thought it was interesting that I was trying to figure out, like, with the voodoo doll, how he did it, but being a piece of Superman's cape. I like the art and the design of Clark. I like when they put Clark not in Superman colors. We've talked about this.
Oh yeah,
it's nice to see that continued. This Brainiac version still is growing on me for the context of this story.
Yeah, I mean, eventually, we're gonna grow out of this, but yeah.
But the Hawk invasion, I found it very interesting, and like I was just like, why are the Thanagarian? What? And then just the whole Baron Sunday. Like I was trying to figure out like if he had gotten a piece of his cape or had gotten like something from like a hair off Superman or something from his cape or anything. But it is an actual piece of his cake, I said cake. Jeez.
Yeah.
Which I thought was just weird that would work, being a piece of his clothes and not like an actual piece of him.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, maybe it's, I don't know if they could deal with anyone's clothes, or maybe just because of that his aura that protects that costume, but not the cape.
I want to know, like, I had to chuckle when Captain Atom meets Guardian.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, you're probably not, and he does the whole, like, you're probably not old enough to remember, but I used to be a member of this All-Star Squadron. I worked with security for Project Catamus, but unless you have the proper clearance, I'm not at liberty to discuss the project. And he has holding his badge. I don't know why I just laugh. Like,
well, that's funny.
Why are you even talking about it? Like, unless you have the proper clearance.
Yeah. I love that. It's like, I work for Project Catamus. What is that? I can't tell you.
Let me pull out my clearance because I'm Captain Atom. I'm really like energy in a containment suit,
Yeah.
It just cracks me up.
I mean, I guess, but they are both like military men, so.
Yeah. I'm also wondering why we don't have more Gangbuster cosplays,
I know. I mean, that suit. I like that suit. That's not bad.
So,
but I do.
I found it interesting when he busts in on Baron Sunday,
and
he crushes the doll.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, how does it work? How does this voodoo work? Like,
yeah, I mean,
did you pull? You didn't pull the pin out of it. It looks like the pin comes out when you crush it, but if you crushed it, would that hurt Superman more?
And I'm just wondering, it's like, can anyone crush that doll, or does it have to be? I mean, spoilers. Does it have to be the person it's made to represent?
Yeah, like I was just like,
again, I mean, Baron Sunday has to have some kind of supernatural power because he did affect but it's like, yeah, they really don't explain it, except it's voodoo.
And I feel like it's almost becomes a throwaway villain, just a throwaway part.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember. He might show up again, but yeah, I mean, if he does, it's not. Yeah, we don't see him a ton.
Well, it could have been something. I don't know. There's so many we've talked about in this run where some of these issues could be good at cartoon episodes with these one and done villain type things.
Well, that's what I say. Yeah, because it's like but we always go back to the same. Well, Luthor, Brainiac, Zod.
Yeah, it's like there's so many like these type villains where nowadays you put in this would be easily a 2-parter. Like, no, I don't think there's any comics where you really feel like your villain's a one and done. Like every villain enters with at least a couple issue arc, or I don't know. I don't feel like in a lot more of the modern comics we have as much of these. Just this person's here for an issue and gone.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm liking the Gangbuster stuff. I like him beating the dude up at the bar.
Oh, I love at the bar when the guy tries to hit him from behind with that chair, and it does nothing. It just breaks the chair.
I feel bad for the chair. And then, they at the end, Gangbuster drops Baron Sunday off with the police, and then we have Jimmy with his signal watch. Like, where are you, Superman? Where are you? Ever since he got he got a double whammy with being blasted by the Thanagarians and the voodoo doll. Like, I just feel like that's just, I don't know. It's multi-layered storytelling,
Yes.
Instead of just making this story about the Thanagarian invasion and what's going on there, they add this other layer with the Baron Sunday, where that could have been something that was still going on in the background to come to fruition later, because of how the story starts with Maggie and Dan investigating. Like, it could have been an ongoing kind of like missing killer or something. I don't know. Like, I just feel like some comic stories, you feel like they rush them when there's more story to mind, and then some stories feel like they stretch them out too long.
Yeah, or sometimes if there's a crossover like this, they'll stop everything for the crossover.
Yeah, like you could have had this voodoo killer like going for multiple issues, and then had one solid issue that was just Superman versus Baron Sunday, instead of kind of having it happen all in the same issue.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because there are some writers, they just would have did the whole battle with the Thanagarians for the whole issue, and it's like, I'm glad they didn't like stop the regular Superman story for Invasion. Yeah,
I just would have not resolved it like this, but anyways.
But I mean, yeah, that is like a weird, again, if you're reading this for the first time and you don't know what's going on or who's, the surprise, it's like, yeah, middle of the issue, Superman gets taken out and you don't see Superman again. It's like, oh, what happened to because Gangbuster pretty much wraps up the story.
Good old Gangbuster.
Uh-huh.
I know who Gangbuster is.
I know. Next episode, we're going to get to that. Yeah.
But I would say that one was my favorite issue of the two.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll wait till we get over this. But yeah, this one might be the best one. But yeah, poor Clark still hasn't fixed his bed. He's still sleeping in that chair.
Yeah, that's how he does. Sometimes he's just in the mood to sit and brood, man.
I know, but lately it's always been doing is just sitting in that chair falling asleep.
Hey, I get it. I sit down. I just want to sleep.
Mm-hmm. But poor Superman in this era, anytime there's like a big crisis, like the government asks him to sit out, because he even mentions in this, he's like in Legends when the president asked me not to do anything. He's like, once again, the government's asked me not to do something. And
yeah, that doesn't seem fishy at all.
No.
There's nothing wrong with that.
But he seems kind of angry this time when he starts attacking the Thanagarians.
He does.
My city.
I wonder what's going on.
I know. But he's like,
He's,
when he was like,
he's
"Bye,"
not happy with it.
when he's like, "Bye, City," he kind of sounds like someone we know.
Batman, my favorite character.
You're welcome, Ray. That was Ray Plays Games on YouTube. You can watch him play with himself.
Ray, yeah.
Yes. One-handed or two-handed. Yes, depending on the size of that deck. All right. So, all right. Yes. So, should we talk about the second issue?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. Get that cover up.
Yeah. You can hear me okay, right?
Yes. Yes, sir.
I don't know. It just keeps coming in weird. I don't know. It sounds weird on my end for me. I don't know.
Maybe it's just your
Could be. I had some weird problems yesterday setting up, so I don't know.
Is it hot there? I know, like, this is like the only room in the house without air conditioning. I was kind of getting technical difficulties on Saturday just because I think it was so hot in here.
Jeez. Now, sometimes this room does because it needs flow. Sometimes I have to shut the doors, but no, I'm okay right now.
Yeah.
Just, I don't know. The cats will jump up here and crawl around on stuff and screw stuff up.
It's almost going to be like in the early days and go in the bedroom and record because it was so hot out here.
Crazy.
All right. So yes, now we jump to Adventures of Superman 449, also December 1988. Search, writer and penciler Jerry Ordway, inker Dennis Jank, colors Petra Scotty, shredder Albert de Guzman, and editors Mike Carlin and Renee Winterstatter. Superman is still missing after he fought the Thanagarians and took a dive. Guardian is out searching, and instead he finds Gangbuster, an unknown vigilante who employs somewhat more controversial tactics and is wanted by the police. The two of them get into an argument about idealism, which quickly escalates into physical combat. A blunder by the Newsboy Legion trying to help out their pal sends a car careening towards the two grappling heroes. At the last second, Gangbuster pushes Guardian out of the way and absorbs the full brunt of the impact, crashing into him and sending him diving straight into the river. He escapes, and Superman reappears just in time to rescue the boys from drowning.
It's almost like you're saying it that way for a reason, Phil.
Nah. Jimmy Olsen does some investigative journalism on Superman's whereabouts that leads him to Bibbo Bibowski, who apparently does not take kindly to reporters. Bibbo's thugs rough him up and threaten to steal the signal watch. In the nick of time, he is also rescued by Superman. Amanda McCoy, got into her a little bit last time. Amanda McCoy, former employee of LexCorp, continues investigating the secret identity of Superman, who she believes is to be Clark Kent. She is on stakeout with Matt Stockton at 344 Clinton Street. Good old Matt Stockton, who's, built quite similar to Clark Kent. Remember that, kids. And also investigates the Daily Planet, where she meets Lois Lane. Back in commission officially, Superman receives word that he has a meeting scheduled with Captain Atom to discuss military action for the invasion. He is to be sent on a diplomatic mission to the Alien Alliance to negotiate a ceasefire. Sending transmissions back to the Pentagon, Superman meets with the Dominators on their mothership and talks to their highest caste, claiming that the many sovereign nations of Earth need time to decide on the ultimatums issued demanding the surrender of all metahumans. They decide that there will be a one-day break in the fighting before the invasion is resumed. Even the Man of Steel is left somewhat stirred by the confidence of the invaders in their ability to completely annihilate the forces they're intent on conquering. Later, at the NORAD Defense Command Center, a superhero summit is held by the committee leading Earth's forces, including Captain Atom, Amanda Waller, Wade Eiling, and Maxwell Lord. Superman details the events of his meeting with the aliens, and they prepare for war.
Dum dum dum.
So yeah, this one wasn't as bad, but it a lot more focused on Well, I mean, we still got some subplots in here, but a lot more invasion stuff in here.
Well, it's one of those we're still kind of ironing out who Bibbo is.
Yeah. It's like, is he Superman's pal? Is he a thug? So
I'm not 100% keen on this.
Yeah, not
version
yet.
of Bibbo. Yeah, not yet. But yeah, we have the Guardian and Gangbuster fighting.
Round one, kids.
And then Superman saves Guardian, and we have the Newsboys, News Kids again.
Yep.
And And I totally forgot about this. I can't remember her name. Who thinks Clark Kent is Superman?
Amanda McCoy. Yeah, remember, she's the one from Superman #2 that told Lex, she's working for Lex. She's like, Clark Kent Superman. He's like, no, you're completely wrong. No man with that amount of power would ever lower himself to live that life. Yeah.
I totally forgot that she knew, and I was just like, wait, who? What is?
Yeah, like I said, she was in the issues like one of the issues last week, and it's like, yeah, like that's been kind of on the back burner for a while here.
So, I just, and then, you have this whole, like, Bibbo and the people at the Ace of Clubs, and Bibbo's, like, especially, like an informant, and they're all going to rough up Jimmy and steal his watch, and then Superman comes up through the floor.
Mm-hmm. Or basically pulls them all through the floor, yeah.
And then the owner's like, that's fine, that's cool. Like, just tell them not to come around here no more.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like in these early appearances, yeah, Bibbo's just like an angry drunk.
And then we have my redheaded Lois.
Yeah, because she runs into Amanda McCoy looking for Clark because, he's not at his apartment. She goes, look at it. He's not at the planet.
And the Dominators are just interesting with the way they look. And Captain Atom looks, they draw him really differently. Like, I don't know, they give him more of a human face, I guess.
Yeah. Which I mean,
the General Eiling and Amanda Waller at the end, all together, I did like that. That was cool.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. Eiling's in the Captain Atom book, so yeah. But I do love that. It's like such a Superman shot, just like him pulling he's got Guardian under one arm and then lifting that whole van out of the river with the other hand.
It is a great shot. It would look really awesome if it was on the app.
Mm-hmm. That's what I don't understand. It's like, why is that on the app?
Yeah, I don't understand why there's this huge gap. Like,
it's like 5-6 issue gap. Yeah, I mean, unless they didn't. Could they not find copies to scan in? I'm like,
yeah, I'll find you some copies to scan in.
DC, pay me a price. I'll scan them in for you.
Mm-hmm. I don't know,
but yeah, like we said, Superman gets a 24-hour ceasefire, which yes, that does pick up in Invasion #2. Yeah, it's like the Invasion issues are on the app, but yeah, those Adventures of Superman issues are on the app. I thought of nothing else. That, if stuff was part of a crossover, they put all parts of the crossover on the app.
Right. I don't know. It's just weird. But yeah, I like the other issue better.
Yeah.
Like this one I feel like it's just little chunks of story of like, it's all like little subplot stories to just move us to the next issue. I don't really feel like much, like, yeah, it ends with a ceasefire, but I feel like it's all set up. Like every one of the subplots feel kind of like set up.
Yeah. It's that weird thing where it's like, they want to push their Superman story ahead, but it's like, you kind of every DC book has to like acknowledge Invasion in some way, shape, or form.
So
yeah, I mean, and then Invasion 2 is basically both sides are like, well, they're going to attack us, so we better attack first.
That makes perfect sense.
Yeah, I know. And I don't know if this is like is this the first time? Or maybe at least post-crisis is the first time they mentioned Daxamites, because like, was it the first issue or this one? Like Superman gets attacked by Daxamites and he seems surprised that they have the same level of power he does. I mean, eventually, by the end of the second one, they basically they're like, we're working for the wrong side, so they kind of help the people of Earth and drive off the invasion. But then the Daxamites kind of have to retreat too, because like, I don't know, I guess there's enough lead in the atmosphere that they start.
I just feel like, lead in the atmosphere would definitely hurt Daxamites, but I feel like lead in the atmosphere would just hurt people in general.
I mean, between the Daxamites and Alan Scott and like old school Green Lanterns, I feel like the deadliest weapon in the DC universe is a #2 pencil.
Yeah, like it's just
it's lead, it's wood, it's yellow.
Yeah, I feel like if we were, like we can have lead paint. But lead in our atmosphere, we're good.
Oh, there's a scene in Invasion 2. The Dominators think they capture the Flash, and they're like examining him. Meanwhile, it's a robot bomb that Lex had created, and it blows up the Dominator ship.
I mean, that's smooth.
Yeah. And,
I'm not gonna lie, that's smooth.
Yeah, no, it's like this Army general is basically like, oh, thanks, and then it's Lex sitting there thinking to himself, his last thought, I wonder how Superman would fare against my hero bombs.
I like that.
But yeah, like I said, the Daxamites were giving Superman a hard time until, like, I guess the lead in the atmosphere was getting to them. Yeah, because I think even the Dominators were saying something like, I don't know if, like, the Daxamites just got their powers, so I don't know if they just introduced them to, hey, if you come under a yellow sun, you're going to have powers. But yeah, then they talk about the metagene, and this one, they kind of show where the other what the other books have been up to, like Wonder Woman and the Justice League, Flash and Manhunter were in Cuba, which, yes, Wally was there in his books. Oh, and then it's Invasion 2, not even the Flash book. Wally's dad was working with the Manhunters, but then, he, like, kind of blows himself up to, like, take out some of the aliens. Kind of redeeming himself because, Wally was kind of upset when he found out originally his dad was working with the Manhunters who, the robotic Manhunters who were trying to, take over humanity, so.
Yeah, makes sense.
So yeah, at the end of 2, it looks like they drive all the aliens off. But yeah, there's one more issue, kids.
One more issue.
I don't know, is it this one or the next one? But there's at some points in this, every so often, there's like a newscaster. It's like they keep asking, "Where's Superman? Where's Superman?"
He doing his own thing.
Taking a nap. And what were you gonna say?
I said Superman's doing his own thing.
Yeah. So pretty, again, and then next episode, next month, the first episode of next month, we'll wrap up Invasion. And then the second episode, we'll start our 3-part Exile, where Justin will be here for all 3 parts of that.
I'm excited.
Yes. And again, next episode, yes, we will, for those of you, the few of you who may not know, yes, we will reveal who the new Gangbuster is. Because him and Guardian get into another fight, and Guardian's the one who, like, kind of figures it, reveals it.
Sounds good.
All right. Yes. So any other thoughts, Mr. Tyler?
No, not this time around. Like I said, there's a lot of pieces moving and shaking here.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm just glad they didn't, like, halt everything for Invasion. All right. I'll give you the exact issue numbers for next time.
Next up, on Mullet, Phil takes you into the deep, dark space. Tyler fights in the Fortress of Darkness, and Justin rejoins the team. Will they survive? Find out next time on Mullet.
That'll be the one after the next one. All right. Yes. So for the second part of our 2-part Invasion, next time we'll talk Superman 27, Adventures of Superman 450. Yeah, where we get the big Gangbuster reveal. And then, we can talk Invasion 3. That wraps up Invasion.
Every time we say Invasion, I just think, I don't know. I've been in such a Star Wars mood. I just keep thinking of that scene in Episode 1, Invasion.
No trade talks here, kids. Then, like I said, the second episode of next month, we'll cover Exile Part 1. Justin will be back as we cover, Superman 28 through 30 and Adventures of Superman 451 and 452, which are all on the app. So, yes. And again, Invasion's been collected a couple times, so it's easy enough to find.
Sounds like a plan.
Sounds like a plan, Jan. Yes. You know what? As the man said, sounds like a plan, Jan.
Sounds like a plan, Jan.
All right. So see, I speak Australian. All right. Throw up some fancy stuff here. All right, there we go. All right, so so send us your thoughts on this upcoming stuff. Email us, CapesandLunatics@gmail.com, or call the voicemail 614-382-2737. That's 614-38-CAPES. And remember, you can find all things Capes and Lunatics episodes, social media, merchandise. Get your new Capes and Lunatics merch. Get the classic stuff. It's still on there. And again, little demands that you just rain random money on us for that you like our product, but just for no reason. Rain random money on us.
Make it rain.
Yes. Don't make us dance on the pole while there's an alien invasion raining down on our heads.
She looks like she was just working a stripper pole down at Divas.
Drunk Justin. All right, and of course the Patreon, where Lilith and I try to give you something new every month. The June episode, we talked like the LGBTQIA characters of DC and Marvel. The July episode, we're going to be talking our trip to HersheyCon, where we met DG Chichester in person finally.
There you go.
Yes, I talked to Mark Wade briefly. Got like 2 books signed by Mr. Mark Wade.
That's exciting.
Saw the very tall Mr. Jim Shooter. All right, so you can find the Patreon at patreon.com/CapesandLunatics and everything at tubespace.io/CapesandLunatics Podcast Network. It's tubespace.io/CapesandLunatics Podcast Network.
More vicious and brutal than ever.
All right. And if you need more Superman, because who doesn't, Tyler, where can they hear you? And the Mr. James Cole.
You can find us on the Krypton Report, wherever your podcasts are, and wherever on all social medias. I am so tongue-tied today, I cannot talk. Search for Krypton Report, you'll find us.
I think we need to call him Gangbuster. You can hit him over the head with a chair. It's not going to do nothing.
Yeah, he's. I joked with him. He's currently returned to the woods. He's out camping. I was like, he returned to the forest, become one with nature.
Talking about Bigfoot.
Be careful.
Oh, that's gonna be. Oh yeah, Bigfoot. Oh, Bigfoot was out in the woods taking pictures of James Cole.
See, and he took him back and showed his kids and said, "See, kids, I told you they exist.
I told you he was real."
But Daddy, I'm scared. The cold won't bother you, baby. I promise.
The coal was just a myth.
Yeah, the coal is just a myth.
I love it. All right. Thanks for joining us. Again, we'll wrap up Invasion when we come back next month. We'll wrap up Invasion, and then the second episode will start Exile. And the 3-episode return of Mr. Justin the Owl.
Gotta get an owl sound effect for next time.
I do. You know what? I do a bunch of other shows with him. I do need an owl sound.
Every time you say Justin the Owl.
Who is that over there?
How's that sound? I'm working on trying to get my microphone in a better position.
It's a never-ending battle, Tyler.
It is.
All right. Speaking of, come back next time join us for Truth, Justice, and the Mullet Way.